FIBA 3x3 basketball has moved west to the Americas. We're in Mexico City for the latest round of the World Tour, looking for two more teams to gain a place on the road to Abu Dhabi. Coming up, we check out the commentator with the classic calls.
Easy drive and layup from Vanilla Gorilla, and he's slippery like a banana peel.
Later, we meet Michael as he strives for perfection. We discover the multi-talented artist from Queens, and it's action all the way to crown the Mexico Masters. The campus of UNAM, the largest university in Latin America, welcomes the fifth leg of the FIBA 3x3 World Tour with another chance for 12 teams to battle for a $10,000 check and a place in the World Tour final in Abu Dhabi. Mexico City plays host to the sport that has its roots in the parks and streets, playing on half a court with one hoop over a 10-minute period or to 21 points with a 12-second shot clock. It's high-octane action at high altitude for the FIBA 3x3 Mexico Masters. The Mexico Masters features teams from all over the Americas, including two teams from New York City. The one from Queens is led by Amshasham Foluke Henderson, a 30-year-old who came to the game at a relatively late age.
I started with basketball. I was a late bloomer. Started playing basketball at 17 years old. Played 1 year high school basketball. So my mind wasn't like a normal kid. I didn't have the dream of the NBA. I had the dream of being a marketing executive. I had the dream of being a business entrepreneur. And I had the dream of being a socialite, putting myself in front of the camera. So that's what I do. I've run blogs. I've run different social media teams for different corporate companies. I also make music. That's one of my newest things that my newest ventures that I'm doing. I make music. I met so many people doing what I do. People like 50 Cent. I've met people like 2 Chainz. These are famous rappers that come from the United States of America. It's Rick Ross, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy is what they call him in the city. I get to be around so many different people, and I just love it.
He may be a multi-talented star, but at the moment, Shesham knows where he needs to concentrate his talents.
I mean, it's great. It actually reminds me of tournaments back home in Queens. 3-on-3 FIBA basketball reminds me of being at home. When I come to Mexico and I go to Puerto Rico, sometimes I'm on the court and I have to look around because I really feel like I'm back at Queens because I hear the music. You know, when I'm back home, when we on the blacktop, you know, somebody may have their car there playing the music. So we vibe into the music. Right now, to be a part of FIBA 3-on-3 basketball, I mean, I feel like I'm making history. You know, before the history actually happens. In 2020, they're talking about going to the Olympics. So to be a part of it now means so much more. So when it gets to 2020, and I can look back and say, I was there when it began. I was there when it started, and now I'm still here, you know, given a chance to, you know, represent my country, USA.
Day one started when the New York City teams announced their intentions to the competition. Firstly, Shesham top scored with 6 points as the number 8 seeds, New York Queens, defeated the number 2 seeds from Brazil, Rio Preto, 18-10. Then the 7th seeded outfit from Harlem down to 3rd seeds from Denver, 21-18. In their second game, New York Harlem scored another decisive victory when disposing of the hosts, Mexico UNAM, seeded number 5 by a 5-point margin, 15-10. The rest of day one followed the form guide. In Pool A, number 1 seed Saskatoon eased into the quarterfinals to be joined by fellow Canadians and number 9 seeds Ottawa. In Pool B, 2nd seeds Rio Preto, with that heavy loss to Queens, had to settle for 2nd place behind the New York 8th seeds. With their 2 outstanding wins, NY Harlem topped Pool C ahead of the number 3 seeds Denver. And in Pool D, the Canadians from Winnipeg finished top ahead of the 6th-seeded Puerto Ricans from San Juan. Saskatoon were the 2014 FIBA 3x3 World Tour Final runners-up, and Canadian number 1 player Michael Linkletter looks back on that final in Japan.
It was a good experience, and moving forward to this year, we've built on from that, and we've done a lot of, I wouldn't say rebuilding, but a lot of thinking, you know, a lot of off-the-floor work, Personally, I believe that versatility is the biggest factor in this game. Your players have to be able to do everything. They have to be able to defend, they have to be able to score, they have to be able to play every position. When you have a really well-balanced team like that, your success rate is going to skyrocket.
Apart from confidence, Michael knows that teamwork is also crucial.
We see a lot of teams out here that have a lot of individually talented players, and even there will be 4 players who are all talented, but we see that they're not a team. And really, to be successful in this, you know, you look at the last few years for the World Tour champions, like, those are teams. They play together, you know, they're getting stops together, they're getting scores together. So it's really essential that you have teammates who are willing to put it all on the line for each other and not just for themselves. And that's the beautiful thing about FIBA 3-on-3, is that any given game, anybody can win.
Michael and his Saskatoon teammates were first up in quarterfinal action. They eased past the 6-seeded San Juan. O'Neal Gordon, aka The Flash, top scoring with 8 points.
We understand we can get beat at any day. Anybody can win if you hit shots. So it really is just do what we do and then hope for the best at the end.
New York Harlem continued their giant killing when they disposed of the Brazilian second seeds Rio Preto 21-16. Dominique Jones led with 9.
I'm coming here not thinking about a loss. If you think loss, you're going to lose. We're thinking win all the way.
The other New York outfit from Queens didn't fare so well, going down 20-11 to the number 3 seeds from Denver. In the all-Canadian quarterfinal, 7 two-point baskets from Winnipeg ensured that they progressed, expense of Ottawa 21-16.
Yeah, it just tells us that we can compete with everybody. We just need to bring our best game. It's going to be another tough one. We know the team, they're great. If we can play our best game, we have a chance at least. That's all we want. So.
And it was another all-Canadian affair in the shootout, where 1 player per team participates in the qualifying round, the top 4 going through to the final. Here, players shoot 3 racks of 5 balls worth 1 point each from 3 different spots behind the arc, and 1 rack of 3 money balls worth 2 points each from the end line against a 60-second shot clock. Saskatoon's Nolan Brudel scored an impressive 8 points with 4 seconds remaining before Osvaldo Janti of Ottawa came to the arc.
5th shot off the mark. He's on to the 3rd rack. The final rack before we get to the money ball. And he's got the stroke. He's got 7 makes, 7 points. 8. Misses on the last attempt. Again, no one's knocked down a 2-ball yet. Can Janti beat that dude? 3 attempts, last one, no go.
Another 8 points, but with 5 seconds remaining, Osvaldo Janti wins the shootout by just a single second. On to the Final Four, featuring 2 intriguing matchups between American and Canadian teams. Coming up, Denver and Winnipeg, but first, the top seeds and 2014 FIBA 3x3 World Tour final runners-up from Saskatoon against the Giant Killers from New York Harlem. Canada's number 1, Michael Linkletter, leads Saskatoon, together with number 2, O'Neal Gordon, and number 3, Michael Liefers, aka the Maple Leaf. Shootout finalist Nolan Brudel completes the Canadian lineup. New York Harlem had Kevin Josie at the helm, together with the ballroom brawler Edis Dervasevich and Super Dave Seegers. Dominique Jones, aka Disco Damo, completes the American outfit. This was a roller coaster match, and as we join the action, Harlem are in yellow. The scores are tied at 16. There's 96 seconds remaining.
Gordon, guarded by Disco Damo, down low. Brudel, skies up, soft touch, and it rattles in. So Saskatoon, 1 point advantage. They are the top overall seed. Kevjo, sloppy on the pass, it's stolen. Ball quickly down to Brudel, and he's fouled. And they all count at this point. Can't afford to come up short on free throws with a 1 point game and just over 1 minute to play. Brudel knocks it down, so it's a 2 point game in favor of Saskatoon. Disco Damo, he got a good look at that too, but he missed it just barely. It's gonna go out of bounds to Harlem. Disco Damo, hesitation move, poor pass down low, looking for the ballroom brawler. He's gonna want that one back. We are under 1 minute to play now. Sloppy pass from Gordon. Harlem has a chance. Do they want to go for the 2 or get a quick 1? Rebound, score, ballroom brawler. 1 point game. Saskatoon will need to be very careful with the basketball. Link ladder. Not sure he had to launch that 2 like that. Super Dave on the drive and the score. Tie ball game, 18 all. About 30 seconds to play in this one. Leifers over to Gordon. Guarded by Super Dave. Launches the 2 off the mark. Link ladder hustle. Right over to Leifers, who throws it down. The hustle play from Link ladder may win this game, maybe. I spoke too soon. Score from the ballroom brawler ties it at 19. A 2 here would win it. Gordon, driving, kick it out. Link ladder, 2 ball, he misses. Time expiring, and we're gonna go to overtime, and fittingly so. The first semifinal was absolutely bananas here in Mexico City. We'll see who's able to dig deep and pull this one out. Saskatoon with the rock. Link ladder, guarded by Disco Damo. Link ladder, looking for a pick, he loses it, gets it back, kicks it to Nolan Brudell, that would win it, and he misses the 2. Disco Damo, guarded by Brudell, he wants it to, up fakes, beautiful passing from Harlem as they get on the board. 1 point away from winning this is Harlem. First team to score 2 wins it. Gordon working on Cam Joe, he's behind the 2-point line, he launches up a wild 2-point shot, and Saskatoon trying to get it all in 1 shot. Harlem opting to go with maybe the smarter play, and that's get a point. Now you don't have to make a 2. 1 point for the boys from Harlem. Representing NYC to the fullest. Pass down low. Ballroom brawler. Cap Joe for the win. No. Ballroom brawler rebound. Score! Ball game. Harlem is on to the finals here in Mexico City. Pulling off the shocker over Saskatoon, the top overall seed.
As FIBA 3x3 travels the globe, a key member of the unseen staff is the TV commentator. Calling his second competition is Kyle Montgomery, a 10-year veteran of sports broadcasting.
In my career, I've been doing hosting, anchoring, reporting, for the past 10 years. So you don't really have the freedom to, say some of the things that I say when I'm doing play-by-play here with FIBA, and some of the things that I also used to say on the top 10 highlights for the NBA. And they encouraged me to be free. They said, listen, you're a young guy, you got some flavor. You don't have to feel like you fit in a box. Say what you like. Say what you say when you're playing ball with your friends. And that's all I needed to hear.
Having worked extensively on the NBA, Kyle quickly identified the differences with FIBA 3x3.
5-on-5, you can take a breath, and they take some time to take the ball out, and you can kind of reset yourself as the other team is advancing the ball to the other side of the court. No such thing in 3-on-3. The biggest challenge is learning the players' names to where it comes second nature, to where I don't have to look at a sheet of paper because the action moves so quickly. If you look down at a piece of paper, you could miss the next play just like that. I listen to a lot of rap, and that influences some of the lines. Or I may take a line that's relatable, like if in one of my highlights one night I said he gave him the business, somebody tell him button up his shirt straight. People loved it. I took that line from Drake, but I incorporated it into an NBA highlight. I love the saying, it's bringing the streets to the world stage. So, you get that street feel, and the more exposure I think that 3x3 gets, I think people are really going to gravitate towards it. We just got to have more eyeballs on it.
The second semifinal looked like a tight battle between the 3rd and 4th seeds. The Americans from Denver were led by the Vanilla Gorilla, Derek Griffin, one of only 9 players who have played in all 4 editions of the FIBA 3x3 World Tour. Marcus Stockton, Gary Sugar, and Paris Kiles completed the 3rd seeds lineup. The number 4 seeds from Winnipeg were led by Graham Bodnar, together with Chris Burns, Darcy Koss, aka the Crossbow, and Wyatt Anders. Denver are in white. They lead by 5 as we join the action with 4.5 minutes remaining.
Darcy Koss, he doesn't shoot that one. Instead, he gets it to big Y, and that's a score. Score for Winnipeg. Representing Canada, Denver representing the United States. Long 2-ball just off the front of the rim by Bodnar there. Vanilla Gorilla with the moves, loses his balance, drives, and scores. He's not just a 2-point shooter. He can do it all. 12-5, 7-point advantage for Denver. Will this be an All-American final here in Mexico City? We got Harlem awaiting. Right now, Winnipeg's got to make up 7 points. Make that 8 points as PK gets to the cup for the score there. 8-point advantage. I would not be shocked if Darcy Koss started launching some 2s for Winnipeg so they can chip into this lead. 3.5 minutes to play. King Stockton over to PK. PK hesitation, drive, left hand layup, no good. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Darcy Koss almost had it stolen by Shook, steps behind the 2, and he drops him off. Hand in his face, does not matter. And that's what happens when you have a deadly shooter. All they need is an inch. You give him 1 inch, he's gonna give you 2 points. 13-7, easy drive and layup from Vanilla Gorilla. And he's slippery like a banana peel. We are under 3 minutes to play now. 5 on the shot clock. PK drive, floater, miss. Bodnar with the rebound. Down low to Big Y. Out to the comeback. Barnes, no go. And what'd I say? You give him 1 inch, he's gonna give you 2 points.
That 9-point lead for Denver was too much for Winnipeg to overcome. Denver into the Mexico Masters final and on their way to Abu Dhabi. The slam dunk contest turned into a shootout between 2 professional dunkers, Justin Just Fly Darlington and the shortest pro dunker in the world, Porter What's Gravity Mayberry. Dunkers have 3 attempts to make a jam, which is marked out of 10 by 3 judges. The best aggregate score wins. With their first attempt, both athletes scored 27.
All right, second dunk attempt for Just Fly. And will he take off once again? Touch the sky, baby! Justin Just Fly gets higher than a pair of tube socks. He gets a 30 from the judges. As the crowd gets in it, Mayberry gets up to get down. The oohs in the eyes from the crowd let you know what he's coming with, bringing to the table. Justin Just Fly, AKA Air Canada, kissing the sky. On that last dunk, he got higher than a new suit. 27 from the judges. A total of 84 points. Porter What's Gravity Mayberry approaching, trying to jump over 2 people, and he pulls out the propellers. Flyer than a Birdman. He completes the dunk, jumps over 2 people. And I told you the little guy has big bounce. Unbelievable.
A 3-point victory for Just Fly and a check for $2,000. The final of the Mexico Masters was an all-American affair as the number 3 seeds from Denver took on New York Harlem. The 7 seeds had beaten both the number 1 and 2 seeds in the knockout phase and were looking to repeat their 21-18 triumph over Denver in the pool match. Harlem raced to an early 10-3 lead, but Denver slowly pegged them back. With both teams sure of a place in the season-ending World Tour Finals in Abu Dhabi, we join the action inside the final 2 minutes. Denver in yellow trail by 1.
And a loss in the final would hurt more than anything. Look at the move being wound by Disco Domo. He will lose you quick like some car keys. The proof is in the pudding. So apparently there's an issue with the court after it's been fixed. We'll get back to action there, and it's been taken care of as Denver now has possession down by 2 after the Disco Domo heroics. $1.50 left in this one, Super Dave. It's all about playing smart basketball the rest of the way for Harlem. Denver's got to play with a sense of urgency on the defensive end. That's a big shot. That's a big shot by Super Dave. Fadeaway goes 19-16. 3-point advantage for Harlem. Just over a buck left. But there's that man again. Vanilla Gorilla, though, off the mark this time. Super Dave directing his team. And he's going to take a 2-point shot and just barely misses it. We're at the 1-minute mark. 3-point game. Harlem on top, making their World Tour debut and hoping to win it all in their World Tour debut as Vanilla Gorilla misses the 2-point attempt. Ballroom Brawler recovers the the near steal, and he misses. Vanilla Gorilla misses, but Sugar's there for the rebound and the score. 17-19. Harlem leading by 2. Denver needs a stop, and they get it. Paris Kyles, AKA PK. Hesitation drive right past the Ballroom Brawler. Shot in the paint, miss. Probably should have thought about attempting a 2 on that with so little time left in this game. 17 seconds left, 4 on the shot clock. Super Dave falls to the ground. And jump ball. We call it a jump ball because that is the technical term. They don't actually jump for it. Denver possession. 12 seconds left on the clock. This is the final here in Mexico City. Vanilla Gorilla over to King Stockton. King Stockton looks a little bit flustered. Paris Kyles pulls up for the 2, and he hits it! He hits it! Unreal! Unreal! Ties the game at 19. We are going to overtime in Mexico City. And a big crowd out here witnessing this exciting championship game. Paris Kyles working against Kevjo. He likes the matchup. They allow a little bit of physical play. Kevjo able to hold him off. The 2-point attempt, that would have ended it from Disco Damo. 2-point attempt for Vanilla Gorilla. Just off the mark. Can hardly contain yourself watching this game out here. Paris Kyles, he wants the 1-pointer. He doesn't want the 2, so he drives. He's teed up by Kevjo. Shoots it through, and it's good. It is over. Paris Kyles with the 2-pointer to send it to overtime, and the 2-pointer to win it, sending Harlem back to NYC. Broken-hearted. Paris Kyles putting the cape on his back, playing Superman for Denver, who wins it here in Mexico City.
And as Denver's Paris Kyles receives the MVP award, we round out the Mexico Masters with our top 5 plays. At 5, a first taste of Paris Kyles, who sends Super Dave Seegers on a super dive. Number 4 is a gorgeous alley-oop, courtesy of Marcus King Stockton. At 3, Super Dave Seegers jumps out of nowhere for the follow-up jam. Disco Damo Jones makes the Vanilla Gorilla dance at number 2. And the #1 play is the unbelievable championship game winner by tournament MVP Paris Kyles. So Denver and New York Harlem are on their way to Abu Dhabi, and now Brazil beckons as the Rio Masters is the final Masters on the FIBA 3x3 World Tour schedule.